Hey, how you doing? This is Adam Post, publisher of more than 1,000 comic books, and I've been covering Disney and Kevin Feige and Marvel very closely these last few months. Now we're finding out that Phase 5 actually has no plan, which makes sense if you've been watching Phase 4. You would think that somehow they must not have actually thought this through very much, which I guess in that way, since they're delaying so much of what's coming out now for the Disney Plus TV shows for Phase 5, and they're pushing back movies, since this kind of doesn't all fit together in some coherent plan, it's kind of okay, because there never was a plan. This is coming from Bounding Into Comics. Quantumania writer implies there's no real plan for Phase 5 and beyond. Well, we're in the process of figuring that out. That's pretty shocking. Let's get into this article. Before we do, please be sure you are subscribed to the channel. Click the bell for notifications and give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate you guys. Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania writer Jeff Loveness recently revealed that Marvel Studios doesn't have a plan for Phase 5 and they're just winging it. Can you imagine that? Isn't Marvel a big, very important franchise? Don't they spend billions of dollars on Marvel films and TV shows? You could imagine their production overhead. You could imagine how much money they're paying Kevin Feige. But no one sits down and comes up with a coherent plan that they can utilize. Speaking with The Hollywood Reporter in a lengthy interview about Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania and the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Loveless was asked, so moving forward, will the next big bad be a revolving door of Kang variants? Or will an alpha soon emerge if he hasn't already? Loveless responded, I think I've already been killed by Feige for even taking this interview, but we're in the process of figuring that out. I am so far behind in my Avengers script, but I'll tell you when we get it figured out. Ironically, after revealing that he and Marvel Studios don't actually have a plan, he claims they do. We've got a plan and we've got a story, but the goal right now, without giving too much away, is to show the true versatility and passion that Jonathan Majors has. And this is where, for me, it gets even stranger. Quote, I truly feel like I'm the luckiest guy in the world because I get to write for the most exciting young actor that I've seen in a long, long time. And so the short answer is that I can't say anything. But the big answer is that Kang is a Legion. So let's see what the Legion is like, and let's get great character performances from the best actor around right now, he concluded. So they're going to be planning around what they're doing, which they don't really have a plan. But in the future, they'll make these little plans around Jonathan Majors, who actually gave an adequate performance as Kang in Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. He was fine. He wasn't incredible, but he was fine. But you're going to plan the universe around his character performances? Do they not have access to character actors that are actually good, that could also play characters? Like, does the performance really have to drive the story? That doesn't really seem like it makes sense to me. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Of course, Marvel is a mess, and of course, this movie has done historically badly. Marvel Studios sets historically bad box office record with Ant-Man Quantumania. We discussed that yesterday. The record essentially is the major drop to week 2 from week 1. This movie that they were hoping was going to do about $700 million internationally is now being targeted to do anywhere between $450 and maybe $550 million worldwide, which is less than the $600 million plus it did on the last Ant-Man and the Wasp movie, because the movie really is terrible. When asked the follow-up question on where he was with his script for Avengers, the Kang Dynasty, he answered, it's hard to even say. I think I'm in the jet lag stage of a press tour, but we're working on it. Destin is incredible. I've had conversations with Jonathan about where he wants to take the character, so it's still very early days. And again, it's great to have a good relationship with an actor who could do a terrific performance, but the actor should not be co-writing the script. I mean, maybe if they have experience with the franchise and they've been a big part of the franchise for years, but not Jonathan Majors, who just came in as Kang. Well, we've got like 40 or more movies to go before I get there, but we've certainly got a plan. We're all very excited for the story that we're laying down, so now it's just on me and my ADHD and my procrastination and all that. So hopefully Kevin doesn't read this. If he does, hey Kevin, I'm doing great. The pages are just flowing, man. I'll be there next week, he concluded. Kevin Feige is supposed to be responsible for the production of Phase 5 and for the production of all of Marvel Studios. He should really know what's going on. And this could be joking and who knows, but the sense that he's talking about where we're going to plan where we're going to take these stories based on what Jonathan Majors wants to do, when, yeah, he gave an adequate performance, but come on. Aside from not having a plan, Loveless also revealed he doesn't actually care about how the quantum realm works, how time travel works, or how the magic of the Marvel Cinematic Universe's multiverse works. All of these are things you would think would be incredibly important for a writer to actually know and care about when writing films in what Marvel is describing as their multiverse saga. And the author here is correct. You need to know how the science works. You don't need to show how it works. You don't need to explain how it works. But it's the same thing as if you're writing. You need to know what your characters' backstories are. If you're not going to be discussing those backstories, that's fine. But you need to know what the histories are. And you certainly need to know the rules for time travel, all these other things. Inexcusable. But what's interesting is you'd have to say, like I was, like, well, Jeff Loveness, like, what has he done before? Why is he writing Ant-Man and Quantumania? Why is he writing Avengers Kang Dynasty? What's going on? And the answer is, well, he worked on Rick and Morty. He did 6 episodes there. And he also worked on the Jimmy Kimmel Live show, and he worked on a lot of those and, you know, contribute to that. He was a staff writer. Why did he get put onto this movie? What were the qualifications? And the thing is if you don't hire experienced people to do important work, you need to support them a lot more to make sure, even if they have talent, but if they don't have the muscle memory of knowing how to actually do a job, then you get the mess that is the Quantumania movie. It really isn't a good movie. And yes, Marvel movies have been bad lately, but this is like a new level of low. Nevertheless, Loveless told Hollywood Reporter when asked about how much time had passed for the character in the real world when they were in the quantum realm, oh, we may have to pick this up in another movie, but we didn't play too much with the time dilation in this one. I would say all that time dilation stuff might be more in the upper strata, which is where those ants fell through. They fell through it and went through 1,000 years or something. The Avengers were also doing it in those upper strata levels, and so I think the realm we were playing with was a bit more of a limbo space, he continued. Loveless then stated, we've already played that card in Endgame, so we just wanted more of a contained adventure without having to check your watch the whole movie for how much time has gone by. The better question is, how long was Janet actually there with Kang? Was it 30 years, or was it an endless amount of hell time? But I'll leave that for Reddit, he concluded. They can have fun with it because I don't really care. Clearly, audiences are making it clear they don't care as well, as the film's opening weekend box office was far short of Marvel's most recent releases in 2022, which also underperformed previous films in their franchises. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania has only grossed $131 million domestically and $160 million internationally for a global gross of $291.5 million. The film also has the 3rd worst user rating for all Marvel Cinematic Universe films on IMDb. Well, I am pretty shocked to read what Jeff Loveness is talking about. It's really not Jeff Loveness's fault. He was offered a job. He's doing the job. He's doing probably the best he can, but he's not writing an episode of a cartoon here. This is supposed to be part of some massive integrated fantasy lore that has a multi-decade history. There's no concern for how the world works and how pieces fit together. There's not a lot of interest, it seems like, in what the characters are about. It seems like the performances of the actors is going to drive the story. Occasionally an actor can improvise, and there's nothing wrong with that. But there's a lot wrong with how Loveless describes the future of Phase 5. There is no future of Phase 5. It's whatever they happen to do. They'll slap it together. They really don't seem to care what they are doing. This has got to be the end of the Marvel franchise. I can't imagine it going on that many more years as they wear thinner and thinner on what Marvel and superheroes were supposed to be all about. Let me know what you think of all this in the comments below. Are you shocked that now we're actually in Phase 5 at Marvel and they don't have a plan for Phase 5? How is that even possible? Always like to see your comments, so please give me your comments below. Please be sure you are subscribed to the channel. Click the bell for notifications. Give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you again soon with another video. And if I don't see you, I will miss you.